Good morning, you guys. Y'all come on in, double tap the screen. Drop your questions and comments. You're tired? Good. That means you're doing something. That means you're doing something. You're at work? Good. Yeah, Melissa, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have time for nonsense. Let's keep it rocking. All right. Come on in, guys. Double tap the screen. Drop your questions. Drop your comments. If you guys are new here, my name is Scott. I'm a certified Christian divorce recovery coach, and I help people heal from divorce and breakups. I help you heal from narcissistic relationships and break trauma bonds. That's what we do every single day. It's what we do full time, folks. This is not a hobby. This is a career. Let's get it rocking. Let's get it rocking. I'll be with you guys for about an hour. Actually, about an hour. He's still denying. What's he denying? What is he denying? 345 of you guys, make sure you follow me at the top of the screen. Drop your questions, drop your comments. I got a Breaking the Trauma Bond boot camp coming up, guys, in the next 10 days. I've still got some seats available. That is a boot camp that I am hosting with me live, virtual, just like we're doing right now. And I'm going to teach you all about trauma bonds and how to break them. Oh, he's denying that he met her. She confirmed that they have. Okay, well, that's all the evidence that you'll ever need. Stop trying to get him to give you a confession. You've already have enough to convict. He has been ignoring me for 2 days. He is a mommy's boy. What do I do? Why is he ignoring you? Kim, the Breaking the Trauma Bond boot camp is only $127. I also have coaching options available for you guys that want to work with me one-on-one or in a group setting. Let's get it. I know a lot of you guys are getting ready to go to work. Some of y'all are headed to work. Some of y'all are sitting at work already. Some of y'all are off today. Some of y'all are sitting at home with the kids, living the mom life or the dad life. It's cool. Let's talk about it. Going through divorce and he's withholding my personal property and the things. It makes you insane. What kind of things? Is there a court order stating that he has to relinquish these things back to you? I'm sorry you feel that way. Lives rent free in my head. Yeah. So they say, I'm sorry you feel that way instead of I'm sorry for my actions. How do you leave? Well, we have to get you a plan together, Miss Emma. So many people just walk out. I see people, a lot of people do that. I've seen people do that and sleep in their car for 3 weeks while they work with me. Okay. I prefer that you have a plan. I prefer that you get everything together, like the important things, like all your documentation, the tax files, all your credit cards, all your debit cards, social securities, all the pictures and stuff that you want, and slowly start moving stuff out, putting it in a safe location. And then you get a plan where you've got money in reserves, you've got somewhere to land. And then once you get out, that's step one. Then step two is staying out. And that's going to be really hard. You're literally breaking an addiction. Good morning, Miss Kim. Trying to leave 14-year marriage. He claims he won't give me anything. Of course he does. Listen, these people use something called fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. And y'all are just like, oh my God, he must be telling the truth. If he says that's the way it's going to be, then that's probably the way that's going to be. That dude's not God. He's telling you these things to manipulate you to stay. Nobody's going to want you if you leave me. You're never going to find another person like me, thank God, right? If you leave me, you're not getting the house. I'm not going to pay you child support. I'm not going to give you alimony. I'm going to make your life a living hell, right? All those things. I'm going to take the kids from you. I'm going to prove to everybody that you're the cheater. I'm going to blow you up on social media. Fear, obligation, and guilt. Remember that. Write it down. Fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. There's a simple reply back to that. And they're not going to be expecting you to say this, but I'm just going to give you this. What's up, David? I'll see you in court. 3 words. Those are 4 words. I'll see you in 5 words. Geez. I'll see you in court. 5 words. I left an 18-year marriage. I left an 18-year marriage and he won't sign divorce papers. It's going to cost me money while I'm raising our kids. Yeah. Listen to me. If these people are true narcissists, they're not going to agree to anything outside of court. They're barely going to agree to anything in the court system. Go to mediation with these people. Good luck. Waste of time. My ex is pregnant, and when we found out she was pregnant, I found out she was cheating on me and told me she cheated on me multiple men. So I left, and a couple of days ago, she told me that the baby is mine again. So I'm going to get a DNA test. Yes, Austin, please get a DNA test. What's up, Tina? Please get a DNA test, and here's why. 6 out of the last 7 men that I have coached in your situation found out that the children were not theirs. 6 out of 7. I'm trying to let go of the anger that I stayed for 18 years. Who you mad at? You? You got to give yourself some grace. Logic went out the window when you got into this type of relationship because it's a trauma bond. Okay, that's what it's called. And when you're in the trauma bond, your adrenaline, your dopamine, all of the cortisol, all of those things are highly activated, right? So your fight or flight reflex is trying to figure out if you're safe. Your amygdala part of your brain, and when your amygdala is activated, logic goes out the window. It overrides your prefrontal cortex. That's why you stayed. It wasn't that you were dumb. It wasn't that you just whatever. It was because you were conditioned to stay. You're not crazy. I promise. Keep dropping your questions and comments, guys. What can we do? What can we do about what? Be specific. I have full custody of 2-year-old daughter. It's been 11 months separated. She had an affair and left us. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations, man. I hope that, yeah, you got full custody. Good. What right does that dad have if they are not married, but he is on the birth certificate? She is trying to leave the state and has cut us all out of the kids. Get an attorney. You know, that's all going to depend on your state laws. Do they enjoy ignoring, like ignoring you or what? There's the trigger. This is the number one reason that y'all ask me why how do I get out? This is your biggest fear. How do I leave? I'm afraid to leave and be alone. That means you have no control over your life. I say that because I used to be the same way. I used to be scared to death to be by myself for various reasons. But now it's like when you actually do the work, and this is one of the things I help people with every day, when you do the actual work where you actually get okay being by yourself, you do realize that no one ever has power over you ever again, right? If someone violates one of your boundaries or 2 of your boundaries or breaks any of your non-negotiables, you can walk away with a smile on your face because you know how to navigate it. You see, there's a difference. I used to be terrified of fighting, like absolutely terrified of fighting, and then I started fighting. And then I went from this mentality of, God, I hope nobody starts crap with me. God, I hope nobody tries to fight me. God, I hope nobody whatever. And then I got into this mindset of, I wish somebody would. When you have this mindset that, oh my God, I hope somebody doesn't leave me because then I'm going to have to be stuck with me. You're giving everybody else power over your life. It's not easy. It's not fun. I made myself sleep in my house in silence for 2 weeks straight just to break it. I've been where you are. I understand. But I promise you, if you get to the point where you're actually okay being by yourself and doing things by yourself and dating yourself, nobody ever has power over your life again. Ever. My dismissive avoidant boyfriend says he can't give me a commitment. We were engaged one time and I broke up with him, but he's scared and he don't want to get help for his issues. Okay, so these people that are dismissive avoidance will leave you before you can leave them because it hurts. So you left him, right? But if he's a dismissive avoidant, I mean, he's going to have to get work on that. That can be corrected, but he's going to have to do the work. You can't make him go. You can't fix him. So what you need to do, Miss Jamie, is draw a hard line and say, I'll be over here whenever you get ready. And the only way you're going to be ready is if you prove to me that you're going to get help for it. He probably won't. Dismissive avoidance they don't want anything to do with commitment. These people will walk out on you at the altar for your wedding day. I want him to want me. Why am I not enough for him? Your very best will never be good enough for the wrong person. Please hear me. Why are y'all out here auditioning for people's love? The problem that I see, Miss Kim, is that you're tying your value to somebody else's decisions. Why are you out here auditioning for people's love? Why is it always so nasty and hateful and threatening to I'm sorry, so as far as threatening my job? Because dark triad narcissistic people, dark triad narcissists, they have three things that they are dealing with. Number one, narcissistic personality disorder. Number two is Machiavellianism, which means I will gladly hurt and destroy you if it helps me. And then pure psychopathy, being psychopaths. It's a blend. Have fun with that. So, Miss Kelly, my ex has just taken me to court for the custody of the kids. Interim orders in place by the court. First visit, he broke 5 orders, and then after that, he stopped turning up for our daughter. He's cost me $50,000 in legal fees and has basically now said that the kids can live with me. Was this his plan all along, or does he just not like being told what to do? All of the above. It's all calculated. You have to understand that the true narcissists don't love their kids. They only love their kids as an extension of themselves for them to make them look better. Okay? They don't love you either. Never did. They love maybe what you provided. Do they change when they meet somebody else? Yes. Put on a wonderful mask for somebody else. There's 4 phases of a narcissistic relationship. The idealization phase. Oh my God, you're the best thing ever. I've never met anybody like you. I can see myself with you. I can see a future with you. Oh my God, you're so amazing. And then you're not, which comes the devaluation stage. If I'd have known that you didn't have an education, I would not have married you. If I'd have known that you snored, I would not have married you. If I knew you were going to gain so much weight, I probably would never have married you. Devaluation. Okay. They will attack your smartness, your education also. Then the discard. Sometimes they will fake discard. Freddie, it must be sad to just live your life and go around spamming people like that, man. That's sad. And then comes the hoovering stage where they try to suck you back in. I'm sorry, I'll go to counseling, I'll go to therapy, I'll go to church, I'll do all the things. All of you guys that are texting link to the number up above, listen to me real quick. Make sure that you're willing to do the work. Make sure you're actually serious about working, because I don't just take everybody. I want to make sure you're actually going to come in and do the steps, because I like seeing results myself. I like to see my clients achieve what they're after. So please make sure you only text that number if you're serious about doing the work. I've been away for 10 months from a narcissistic relationship. My close friends that had been there for me keeps asking me if he has contacted text, and it's really starting to bother me, like I want to run. So set a boundary with them, Alyssa, and say, listen, I don't want to talk about that. If you guys keep doing that, I'm just going to stop talking to you. He's been gone for 3 months and left me with our 2 kids. He's probably with someone else. Yeah, he's probably over there living it up, having an amazing time. He's probably having an amazing time. And here you are at home, man, being an awesome, awesome mom. It's not easy having to do it by yourself. This is not the ideal situation that you wanted to be in, but this is what happens when we ignore red flags or we decide that red is our favorite color. This is a side effect of dealing with toxic people. So many of y'all, I'm going to say this as bluntly as I can. So many of y'all went out in the yard and you grabbed a dog turd and you took it home with you. And you're like, oh my God, if I can just love this thing enough and light some candles and be sweet to it and play some awesome music for it every single day, it's going to turn into a gold bar. A dog turd will never, ever, ever be a gold bar. And y'all are like, hey, but this is my dog turd. I think I'll have some kids with this dog turd too. And then you can't figure out why your kids are covered in crap. Sound familiar? So come on in, guys. I see a lot of you guys joining in. If you guys are new here, if you've never seen me before, my name is Scott. I'm a certified Christian divorce recovery coach. I help people break trauma bonds and heal from narcissistic relationships every day, full time. I help you heal from divorce and breakups. I've also been an ordained minister for about 12 years, so I bring the Bible and everything into it. We have to live together until I have my hip replacement. Why does it hurt so bad to know he is only here for financial reasons? Because you already feel that you're not good enough. And for some reason in your life somebody taught you that you can earn love. And that comes from childhood. Nothing you ever did was good enough. So when you say that I wasn't enough for him, you already felt that you weren't enough before you even met him. What's up, Rippin' Razor Queen? How are you, ma'am? Good morning. Appreciate the follows, guys. Double tap the screen. If he shows he don't care, why would you hurt yourself trying to care? Because you don't understand. Some people just have a need to be needed. I know you're hurting. You're breaking an addiction, ma'am. You're experiencing withdrawal symptoms. Make no mistake. That's exactly what's going on. Good morning, buddy. Bubba. Yeah. Alexa, next song. What's up, Jimmy? Keep dropping these questions, guys. Good conversation this morning. I hope you guys are at work, enjoying your day. Any chance of a solid relationship after a husband left me after the C word? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not, I don't believe that should be a priority right now. You just got out of a relationship and you're already worried about the next relationship. That tells me there's some healing work that needs to be done. Good morning, Tootie Bell. Good morning, my sweet girl. Tell TikTok good morning. Good morning, Miss Kathy. How do I get myself out of this situation? You've got to find somewhere to land. You've got to have somewhere else to go. Because hear me, you will never be able to stop drowning if you don't get out of the water. And you can't heal in the environment that makes you sick. It's not going to happen. How you deal with a toxic, narcissistic sibling? You don't. You don't. I'm not dealing with that. I don't care if we have the same DNA. If you're toxic and manipulative and abusive, love you from a distance. Holla at you. Good morning, Jimmy. It's been 2 years since he left. Will he ever come back? And if so, how do I protect myself and child? Why would you ever want somebody to come back? Why are y'all not together? It's been hot and cold since. Yeah, let's work on it. Take time, work on yourself. Well, God bless you too, Miss Jeannie. Appreciate the follow, Miss Lori, Chantel. Appreciate the follows, guys. Double tap the screen, double tap. If you guys are new here, my name is Scott. I'm a certified Christian divorce recovery coach, and this is what I do full time. This isn't a hobby. This isn't a book that I read and decided to sit here and talk to y'all. I've been living this crap for 47 years. I've been through abuse, been through abandonment. I've been through neglect. I've been through all kinds of things. Let's get it. Brother, married to a narcissist, tearing up my whole family. He will not listen to us. He's never going to listen to us. Why would he? Because he doesn't have to. He's the king of the world. You're actually dealing with Superman. Didn't you know? I grew up with a narcissistic mother. Yeah. So you have a definite mother wound there of looking for unconditional love. All you guys that are texting me for the links to work with me one-on-one, make sure that y'all are serious about doing the work, guys. I'm not going to take every one of y'all. I'm just not. Some of y'all don't have the mindset. Some of y'all don't have the discipline to come in here and do the work that we do. I don't do talk therapy, guys. I'm not a therapist. I'm a coach. Do I believe in soul ties? No, I believe that it's a trauma bond. My kid's dad is a huge narc, can't co-parent. You never will be able to co-parent with him, ever. How are you? Listen, y'all don't understand. Y'all are trying to change somebody that cannot be changed. Y'all realize that there's only a 1% to 2% chance that a true narcissistic personality disorder can actually change, right? And it's only when they're not in a relationship. Y'all do know that, right? It's not that they just don't decide to. Yeah, they change you. The stuff they put you through actually changes your brain. Let's see. How do you know if someone is narcissistic? You know. Been gone, divorces nearing the end, zero communication between us. How do I break the bond? So first of all, awesome. You're in no contact. That's amazing. We've got a whole lot of steps in healing assignments that we need to do because so many of y'all think that I can just answer one little question on that and you're healed. I've exorcised the demons. You're clear. That's not how it works. You are literally breaking an addiction. That's why so many of y'all keep going back. That's why so many of y'all have never been able to break it. That's why so many of y'all keep getting in these relationships over and over and over and over again, because you are addicted to that cycle. So we have to break that. That is not just a 2-sentence answer and we get it done. I'm hosting a Breaking the Trauma Bond course on the 18th, Breaking the Trauma Bond Boot Camp. You guys can send over a link to that number up above, and I can get you guys signed up for that. Some of y'all don't want to do that. Some of y'all need more in-depth work, in-depth coaching, things like that. So I have an 8-week course where you meet with me once a week for 45 minutes, and you also have 7 that's virtual, by the way, video calls. I give you homework assignments. I don't just sit here and talk. I don't like that. I like action. You also have access to me 7 days a week for unlimited text and phone call support. That way you've got somebody here with you the whole time you're going through this. And then I also have group coaching for you guys that are trying to heal from divorce and breakups. We meet every Sunday night. Let's see here. Let me grab some questions. Guys, if I miss your question, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I'm just trying to grab what I can see. They're coming in really fast. I can't go no contact because I'm afraid to break their heart, but it's okay for them to break yours, right? The reason why you feel guilty in that is because you have always put that's actually called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is when people have compassion for the people that abuse them. This is why you defend him when people are like, girl, he doesn't treat you good. And you're like, oh, it's not his fault. If I just wouldn't aggravate him, if I wouldn't challenge him, if I wouldn't say anything about his drinking or cheating, then that's on me. That's my fault. Yeah, exactly. You can't break their heart. You can make them feel there's deep-rooted shame that's the biggest trigger for them is what you can do. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm so heartbroken. I'm stuck. So you've got somewhere you can go. You do. I promise. You can find somewhere. There are women's shelters everywhere. That doesn't sound sexy, but I don't care. Get out. Let's see here. Dorothy, that comment is way too long, ma'am. Try to summarize that and drop it again. Keep dropping the questions, guys. Good questions this morning. She won't leave me alone after filing for divorce and refusing to sign the disclosure papers. Bucket, you're trying to do it outside the court system, and it's not going to happen. Lawyer up. Lawyer up, man. So to the woman, I'm sitting here thinking, to the woman that said that, how do I leave? I'm afraid that I will break his heart. You need to understand that your brain literally has been wired to think that their approval equals relief. Does that make sense? When they get upset, when they get mad, you can tell by the way, you can tell how your day is going to be just by the way they're walking, talking, breathing, texting. Some of y'all know. Okay. When your nervous system is activated, when they're upset or mad or angry or sad or anything like that, or pretending to be sad, your nervous system reads that as danger. So at that time, your nervous system doesn't know if you're being attacked by a shark or if you're breaking someone's heart. It doesn't know. You're not breaking his heart. You're not breaking his heart. Okay. So when you avoid hurting them, all that is survival. It's not that's just survival. When we can break that. Okay. Keep double tapping the screen. Good questions, guys. Hello, my love. I see you popping in here. He's been my whole world. I love him, and I can't seem to understand. Okay, cool. I always love it when people who are in terrible and toxic and abusive and narcissistic relationships come to me and they're like, I can't let go. I love them. You know what my first question is for that? What do you love about them? Does your nervous system truly heal? I believe you can get it where it's definitely under control. How do you know when a narcissist is trying to change? They can't. That's where so many of y'all are sitting on your hands and you can't figure out why you can't clap. Y'all don't understand true narcissism. The people can't change. They're never going to change. Well, yes, he can because he's shown me that. That wasn't real. It wasn't real. These people will say whatever they need to say to get you back under their thumb. That's it. That's where you are stuck, Miss Carol. They have literally in the most amazing psychological and psychiatry settings, they've seen a 1 to 2% change. And some of y'all are like, well, there's a chance. That's only when they're not in a relationship. There's no change. Again, you have gone out here and found a turd, and you keep thinking that if you just do a little bit more and do some more and say some more and be some more, that it's going to turn into a gold bar. It's not. It's a turd. Can you label them as a narcissist, or is it a harder to differentiate than we think? My problem with all that question right there is that you're looking for a diagnosis. If I could just prove that they're a narcissist, that would be enough to convince myself to get out of this terrible crap. How could 23 years of marriage mean nothing to him? Oh, it meant something to him. It just didn't mean what you wanted it to mean. But that also goes and triggers your abandonment wounds too. When you said that you love him, what do you love about him? Made from scratch? I doubt it. A lot of you guys are sending me your texting link over to work with me. That is how you work with me one-on-one. That's how you work with me in a group setting. And that's how you join my Breaking the Trauma Bond boot camp coming up in 10 days. When they brutally discard you, threaten divorce, but then text you warm messages and yeah, it's called a fake discard. It's called a fake discard. Yep. 30 years later, my ex has not changed one bit. I'm so glad that I got out at age 32. Good for you. Good for you. These people are not going to change, guys. You cannot fix them. You are so, it boils down to this. Y'all are just so scared to be by yourself. Some of y'all are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're just terrified to be by yourself. So you stay. And the reason that you stay is because you know how to navigate that. Make no mistake, it sucks and you hate it. But you stay because it's familiar. You know how to operate in that. That's why so many people keep terrible jobs, because the fear of coming out here and trying to find another job is scary, because you may not find the right kind of job. It's the same thing. Some of y'all would rather have something that is absolutely poisoning your life as long as it keeps you warm, and so you're not alone, than to get out here and to face your fears and to figure out that once you get out of these things and your actual rose-colored glasses fall off where you can see that you were not the problem, you're like, holy crap, there is a world out here. There's actual sunlight too, and I can do what I want to do. I can go on vacations and treat myself, and I can do all these things. Yeah, I help people do this every single day. It's the most amazing, rewarding part of what I do for a career, guys. I mean, I love watching people that, when I call it a light bulb moment, when they have their light bulb moment, it's like, man, I'm going to be okay. Yeah, you are. 55 and honestly terrified with medical insurance that would terminate with divorce. I understand, but you can get health insurance other ways. I pay out of pocket for my health insurance. Yes, that's right, Jimmy. I see. I married a man that married me and was still married. He was. Try that again. I can't understand what you're saying. I wish I'd met you 46 years ago so I wouldn't have wasted. Yeah, but listen, it wasn't wasted time. So many of you are like, oh my God, 27, 30 years wasted. It wasn't wasted. It just took you that long to understand what love is not. That's a long time to go to school for it, but you learned it. Yep. How do you co-parent with a narcissist when the courts make you? You don't. The best way to do that is to document. But, and you also need to learn how to set healthy boundaries with these people. I've got several techniques to show you how to co-parent with a narcissist, because you're never going to do it, but we can definitely do it in a manner that you take your power back. How do they become a narcissist? Two ways. Number one, they had a terrible, absolutely horrible childhood. So they created this false reality of what they think that they should have been or what they could be as a protection method, right? They just never stopped being that. So if they grew up hearing and all these things that they sucked and they're terrible and they're horrible and they got, abused and all those things, they pretend that they're Superman to counter that, and they never stop being Superman. Or they had a mommy or a daddy that catered to every single thing that they do. All of you parents out here that are buying everything for your kids nonstop, doing everything that they wanted you to do, never hearing the word no, no consequences, you're building a narcissist. Congratulations. Is it common for narcissists? What's up, Sarah? Sarah's one of our our community members over here in our group coaching, it's a common for narcissistic individuals to accuse others of being narcissists. Yes. Y'all have to understand, every single narcissist is going to call you a narcissist. And God forbid these people watch my videos or watch somebody else or actually go to therapy, because all they're doing is getting weapons and tools to use against you. You're gaslighting me. You're gaslighting me. They're always going to say it's your fault. They're always going to say that you're crazy. They're always going to say that you're cheating. They're always going to say that you're the narcissist, that you're manipulating, that you're abusive, all these things. Why? As simple as I can put it, if you would go ahead and put it in your brain and like really, really hardwire program it into your brain that these people are nothing more than toddlers. Think about it. The way they pick, they do their little tantrums, the way they talk. Oh my God, I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home because you're not playing my game right. If you will look at these people as toddlers, you will realize when we were kids, when we're like, oh yeah, well, I'm rubber and you're glue. Everything you say to me bounces off of me and sticks to you. Welcome to narcissism. I can summarize it. That didn't happen. If it did, it's not that bad. If it is that bad, it's not that big of a deal. If it is that big of a deal, then it's not my fault. If it is my fault, then you made me do it. Difference between narcissist and anxious avoidant. So the anxious avoidant is a fearful avoidant, right? So the core driver behind narcissism is control. The core driver behind avoidance is a fear of closeness, like a loss of independence. So like with a fearful avoidant, somebody probably did a number on them at one time in their life. Someone probably cheated on them, broke their heart, and they're just like, hey, I love you. Right? Dismissive avoidance is completely different. They don't want nothing to do with no intimacy. They don't want nothing to do with no relationship. Don't even talk about him like futures and stuff. So it boils down to what is their intention. Okay. Narcissist is going to look at you as a source of a supply. An avoidant is going to look at you as someone that they care about, but they get extremely overwhelmed by you. You may throw another wrench in there for you. They can be both. Have fun with that. I'm 4 years free and love my peaceful life. 57, and I have never felt healthier. Good job, Miss Gidget. Miss Gidget, would you like to tell the women in the chat and the men in the chat that your life will go on if you make it go on? Right now, it feels like your life is coming to an end. Right now, it feels like you are dying. It feels like you just are not going to be able to make it. Alexa, next song. I promise you will. But the question is this. So many of y'all come here. You're still looking for a diagnosis. What's the difference between a narcissist and an avoidant? You're looking for a diagnosis to try to convince yourself that that's what it'll take for you to leave this time. No emotion, no affection, no emotion. Only when he's upset. Why? I don't know. Why do you stay? Why do you feel that that's as good as it's ever going to get for you? Why do you feel that that's as good as it's going to be for you? I'll tell you why. Because you grew up in this. So many of y'all became your mom and you've been continuously in a relationship with your dad. Or you became your dad and you've constantly been in relationships with your mom. Codependency. Okay. So you probably had to help take care of your parent or raise your siblings when you were growing up. So many of y'all became your precious, sweet, loving, caring mom, and you've been marrying and dating your douchebag dad over and over and over again, or vice versa. Yes, I am in a relationship. My dad is a narcissist and he treats me like my mom. Yep. So you probably like relationships the same way. Do all narcissists cheat? No, not all narcissists. Why is it so hard to leave a narcissist? Because you're in withdrawals and you're literally in an addiction process. Your brain has been wired for addiction, just like someone who's on something much heavier. Does no contact with a dismissive really work when it comes to them wanting you back? Daniel, I don't like that. There are so many coaches on TikTok that drive me crazy. Just go no contact and you can get your ex back. Why would you want somebody who's poisonous to come back into your life? We don't go no contact to get people to come back. We go no contact to protect ourselves, sir. You want her back, but I'm working. Why do you want her back? Why do you want her back? She's always going to leave. That's like wanting a job that's always going to fire you. That's like wanting to drive a truck that's always going to run off the road and crash. How do you deal with a narcissist who's a sibling? I've already answered that today. You don't. I don't care if they have the same DNA as me. I don't care if they carry the title of sister, brother, aunt, uncle, best friend's cousin, sister's roommate. I am not allowing toxicity into my life anymore. No. So many of y'all mistake DNA that just because y'all have our family and that you have a mom and a dad and a brother and a cousin, well, I got to allow them to come in and treat me however they want to because they're family. This is not the 1800s. You do not have to deal with these people. Change is possible if you put in the effort. I promise you, action takes place. Action. You know, so many people are like, well, time heals all wounds. Time don't heal a flip-flopping thing. If I get a flat tire on my truck and I go out there and I pull up a bucket and just stare at it and just give it some time, it'll heal itself, right? How do you go no contact if you have kids? You can't. You cannot go no contact. You have to do low contact with extreme boundaries, and I can show you how to do that. It's not as hard as you think. But one of the biggest things that I would say to that is maybe you should get out of the fetal position as soon as possible. So many of y'all are co-parenting like this. I'm going to get them some shoes tomorrow. Y'all have got to grow some balls, guys, and get out of that fetal position. I'm talking to the women too. Y'all got lady balls. Y'all got to grow. Y'all got to grow a pair. The parent puts the weight of it on you, not the narcissistic sibling. I got you. Took my narcissistic ex back 1,000,000 times. However, I made a promise to God that if he walked out the door one more time, that I would divorce him, and I kept my promise. Facts. Awesome. Leaving a narcissist isn't for the weak. She said, what if the person is your sister? Okay, listen, I already answered that one 20 times, guys. It doesn't matter if they're your sister. It doesn't matter if it's your own child. If they are narcissistic, abusive, manipulative people, the Bible in 2 Timothy 3 is very clear. It says, avoid such people. Well, how do you do that when it's your kid? The same way you do it with somebody who's trying to hurt your life. It's not fun. It's not ideal, but you've got to protect your own peace. Leaving a narcissist isn't for the weak. They will try and ruin you, but it's all worth it. Absolutely. That's why you work with someone who knows how to navigate this crap, guys. So many of y'all are like, well, I think I'll just wing it. I think I'll just figure it out. No, you won't. You ain't going to figure it out. You may figure it out when you jump right back into the next relationship and it's the exact same. Or maybe you got into a good relationship and that guy's going to end up boring the crap out of you. Alexa, turn it up one. Send me a text. Let's go. What's up, Jimmy? Alexa, start it over. Good morning, guys. If you guys are in here your first time, my name is Scott. I'm a certified Christian divorce recovery coach, and I help people heal and break trauma bonds and heal from divorce and breakups every single day. Been doing this full time for about 3 years, over 700 coaching clients, almost 1 million followers across all platforms. I love what I do, guys. What's up, bumblebees? Alexa, start it over. Miss Carol, one of my clients, what's up? It's so freeing to walk away. Yes, they're struggling doing it, but it's so worth it. When I'm in his presence, I no longer allow him to trigger me. Boundary development certainly helps. That's because you did the work, ma'am. I'm proud of you. I think it's funny when they say that they are going to ghost you and yet they post all over. They're going ghost and yet they post all over social media. I think it's even more funnier that you're still watching their social media. How do you spot the signs early of a narcissist when you're dating? They act perfect at the beginning. So the biggest mistake that I see is that these people come in. We've got to give you guys grace. Let's be honest. Most of these narcissistic men and women that you got in contact with, they had everything that you're looking for. Like most true narcissistic men, are going to trigger you in one of two ways. Number one, they're going to come in dressed as everything you've ever wanted. They're going to have a lot of confidence, a lot of charisma. They're going to be the life of the party. They may be successful, very romantic. They're going to like love bomb the crap out of you, right? Or they're going to be on the other end of the spectrum where they're going to be so dysfunctional and nobody loves me. I've been cheated on. Everybody's treated me like crap. I've lost all my jobs. I have no money. And they're going to trigger your need to save them. For the men, most of the time, a narcissistic woman is going to come in dressed as a damsel in distress, which is going to trigger our need to rescue. Yes, Jimmy says, remember, God has to break your heart to save your soul. Let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all been thrown into a fire right now, and that fire is not there to burn you. That fire is there to refine you. Because the reason that works so well and the reason that God can show up the most when you're completely broken down like that and you're in the fire is because it melts your pride and your ego away, and then God can step in. I married a man that was still married to his wife, and he married me. He was a horrible liar, put his hands on me. You can get out. I found a wonderful man, but my ex is still bothering me, stalking me. So, yeah, good job, Miss April, but we need to make sure that you get some restraining orders and get him arrested. I've 14 years of law enforcement, also was a chief of police too, guys. Keep dropping your questions, guys. Good conversation this morning, man. All you guys that are wanting to work with me one-on-one, you can you can send me over a text that says link to that number up above on both platforms. Only text me if you're interested in actually doing the work. Yes, I do have a fee. This is an investment into yourself. So many of y'all ask me, how much does it cost? Let me ask you a question back. How much does it cost if you do nothing? I have financing option, guys. You can work with me for the next 8 weeks for as low as $225 a month on the financing. $225 a month. Yes, baby. Okay, we'll get it in just a minute. Is it possible that counseling would work if he suggested he has multiple personality disorder? Listen to me. Why do y'all come out here, walk through the woods, find that old abandoned pickup truck that's out there with a tree growing through the hood of it, and you're like, yep, think I can fix it up and make it a show truck? Why do y'all do that? What is it that these people bring to the table that's worth you sacrificing your peace and your mental health and your well-being? Because I'm going to tell you something, those types of relationships like that, those types of relationships where it's narcissistic and abusive and manipulative and all of those things, I guarantee you, all you guys that have been in it or in it right now, or you've survived it, you have some kind of autoimmune disorder. If you've been in these types of relationships and you've been sick, let me know in the comments real quick. Good morning, Miss Crystal. Why I feel guilty to move on in my life in one of your lives is because he never gave me closure to our life. You're never going to get closure. And the reason you feel guilty is that you've always put him first and everybody else first, and now you're actually putting yourself first, and it feels selfish. Been sick for years. Yep. The ex took my credit score. That can be fixed. Lupus. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. 60 pounds when we separated. Yep. Yep. Psoriasis. Yep. Women think that you can change them. You know why y'all try to do that? I see this a lot, especially with my nurses. I coach a lot of nurses. What if I told you that one of the number one reasons that you got into the medical field or the counseling field or the volunteer field is because you have a need to rescue and save people because there was somebody in your life that you couldn't fix? Yes. I coach a lot of nurses. Amanda says, oh my God, I'm a nurse. You think? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me there wasn't somebody in your life somewhere that you couldn't fix. So you became a healer trying to heal that. And you're subconsciously trying to fix that relationship with that person from your past through all these other toxic relationships. Why do you think I became a coach? Easy part, I fixed me first. Yeah. From childhood to now. Yep. Yep. I just validated every nurse in here. My ex texted the other day, and my first thought was absolutely not. Did not respond. Good. So if you're not going to respond, you should just block him. Block him. Why would you leave the door open for the devil? I tried to heal him. No more. I'm healing myself. Yep. When you decide that you're going to get out and you're going to start putting yourself first, it's going to feel, you're going to feel guilty for it, because when you're a people pleaser and you're codependent, it feels absolutely like, it feels like the moon because you've never been able to do that. And a nurse that just came across you on your For You page. Yep. Our responses on text, okay, if it's just about the kids. Yes. As long as it's just about the kids. Don't go in there and have a conversation. If they're like, hey, I just want to talk to you about the kids. Cool. What do you want to talk about? What'd you do last weekend? None of your business. How do you block them when you have kids? You can't. You got to go low contact and with boundaries. How do you know when it's time to leave biblically? You already know. The Bible's very clear in several places. Abandonment, neglect, abuse, cheating, anything that they watch on computer screens falls under that too, by the way. Being yoked with a non-believer. 2 Timothy 3 talks about narcissistic and toxic people, and it says have nothing to do with these people. Some of y'all get beat up by churches and pastors telling you what God brought together, let no man separate. You think God brought you together with a demon? Or did the club bring you together? Did their hot body bring you together? Did their money bring you together? There's so many reasons why people get together these days, and it has nothing to do with God. Nothing to do with God at all. And then you're like, well, where was God and all that? He was sitting there watching you trip and fumble over your own bull crap. That's where. Oh. My narc was the elder of my church. You want me to raise some awareness for you guys today? One of the top 5 occupations for a psychopath is pastor. Y'all like that one, don't you? I want to give y'all some numbers real quick. If you guys that are asking about working with me, if you guys want to join my Breaking the Trauma Bond boot camp I've got coming up, you guys can send a text up above. Let's talk about some statistics real quick. I want to educate you guys a little bit on some things real quick. Alexa, turn it down one. 25 to 40% of women initiate divorce because of abuse. Did y'all hear me? 25 to 40% of women initiate divorce because of abuse. 1 in 4 women, hear me real quick, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men will experience DV at some point in their life. 1 in 4. Hmm. 95% of all physically abusive relationships also include psychological abuse. You think? Let's see. Most victims attempt to leave 7 times before successfully leaving. One thing y'all need to understand, and this is going to give y'all a little bit of anxiety, but you can navigate this, is that sometimes the really bad stuff gets worse after you leave. Okay, I know that that's scary, but there's ways to protect yourself. 25% of husbands and 31% of wives report childhood abuse history. Let's see here. Yep, I got you. Real quick, guys. All right. I just wanted to give you all a couple numbers on that. Make sure you guys are following me at the top of the screen, guys. Make sure you guys that are interested in working with me one-on-one, if you're tired of being stuck, if you're tired of the same cycle repeating, if you're ready to get out of this, but you just don't know how, text link to the number up above only if you are serious about working with me. Okay. I'm not free, guys. We have a lot of success in what we do. And if you actually want to make some changes, then you can definitely do that. Here's some hard statistics for you guys. We just established that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience some form of DV in their lifetime. 1 in 4. Okay. 50% of women who are no longer on the planet, if you're catching my drift, were put that way by a current or former spouse or partner. I have a question for you guys. All the women in the chat, hear me real quick. Hear me real quick. What do y'all think is the number one cause of injury for women? Based off of all medical records and everything, what do you think the number one reason, excuse me, the number one cause of injury for women? Yep. That's pretty sad, isn't it? DV. It's not tripping and falling. It's not breaking a nail. It's not car crashes, any of that. It's DV. Okay. DV. Children witness this 1 in 15 homes. So if y'all live in a neighborhood or a subdivision, 1 out of every 15 homes is experiencing that. The children are watching it. I grew up like that. I watched it. 25 to 50% of divorces involve some form of emotional, physical, or psychological abuse. Among all high conflict divorces, personality disorders and DV are present in 70% of those. Yeah. Victims of emotional abuse are 3 times more likely to develop depression and 2 to 3 times more likely to develop anxiety disorders. Let me validate some of y'all real quick. 99% of DV cases, 99% involve financial abuse. 99% of them have financial abuse in them. Sound familiar? One thing that I want to tell you guys, and this is why it's so important that you work with a coach or a therapist or all of the above. I coach therapists too, and I'm in therapy. So, so many of y'all think that if you just get out, that it's all going to stop. There's a thing called no-touch torture. This is where they kind of get to you through the co-parenting, through the court systems, and through communication. Okay. Here's the last statistic that I'm going to give you, and it's very scary. For all of y'all that have kids, type me down below. Everybody that has a kid, type me down below real quick. We'll take 2 minutes and do that. Everybody type me, or take about 20 seconds. Hold on a second, babe. All right, check this out. All of y'all that are in these situations with children and you're scared to get out, you're scared to be alone, you don't know what your future is going to hold and all of those things. I'm gonna wake y'all up this morning. I'm about to wake every single one of y'all up, and I want you to take a really good long look at your eyes of your children. Children exposed to these types of relationships are 4 times more likely to enter the exact same type of relationship as adults. If you're in a relationship where there's manipulation and abuse, the children are 4 times more likely. It says 2 to 4. 2 to 4 times more likely to end up in the exact same type of relationship. And you already know this because you grew up in it and now you ended up in it. It can stop with you. It can end with you if you're serious about doing the work. If you guys are serious, make sure that you send me a message or you text that number up above and we will go from there. Okay, this is not a game for me, guys. This is war. If you guys are tired of this and you want to get out and you want to take your power back, let's do it. I'm going to pray over you guys real quick. Father God, I thank you for everybody that is under the sound of my voice, Lord, and I hope that I have done a good job for you and that I've done a good job for these people to give them some clarity. Not everybody can afford to work with me, Lord, but I pray that you would just anoint the ones that cannot and you would send them in the right direction to the people that they would need to help them, Lord. For those of the ones that are under the sound of my voice that are supposed to be in my life and supposed to work with me, Lord, I pray that you would send them. And then let me do my job to my maximum potential so that we can get these people broken free from these chains, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. I pray that you anoint them and protect them, watch over them today, and then a lot of fire under them, Lord, for them to seek your will and your counsel as well. In Jesus' name, amen. Are you praying with me, baby girl? All right. Love you guys. If y'all need anything from me, let me know. I'm out.